Hey, dude, Stephen Ames makes money on the senior tour. That guy's been raking in cash, Pat. Like, I don't know. No shot at choppers there. Remember the corn eating contest? Ames, Howell, Schwartzel. Let's go.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Use code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy right now and get a deposit match up to $100. And if you're feeling frisky, or you already have an Underdog account, so go sign up with code Mayo, hit the description. There is a survey down there right now. It takes, I estimated 21 seconds to fill out, but that might even be, going too far with it. It might be like 14 seconds to fill out. However, if you fill it out, you do need an Underdog handle and an Underdog username to participate in the survey. But if you do, you are entered in a draw for 5 of $1,000 Underdog credit prizes. So go deposit like $25 on Underdog right now. Use code Mayo, then go fill out the survey. You might just get an extra $1,000 for the Players' Championship. Who would say no to that, right? Not you. Not you smart people out there. So Underdog right now, code Mayo, go sign up. Okay, help out the show because they're a brand new sponsor. Additionally, smash the like, sub to the channel, all that fun stuff, and rate and review the audio podcast. 2 men joining me today. We're rotating through here on the Best Bet Show for the Arnold Palmer Invitational or the Puerto Rico or Live, wherever you want to go with some of these picks. First up, you may know him from the Best Bets NFL show or the Pebble Beach Best Bet Show, where he was a clean 2-1. It is Cam Stewart at Pebble Beach. You shouldn't have picked against Aubert, but you won the other two, so that's good.
Hey, Pat, thanks. Congratulations on the new gig. I don't know if that's going to affect the Omaha Steaks deal. We'll talk about sponsorships later, but hey, buddy, you've been working your ass off for years. Kudos to you, and you've been pretty hot. Pat, it started with old Jake afternoon nap. And I love this guy. Imagine being his girlfriend. Hey, I just met you. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Now you're rich. Hey, nice way to start the relationship.
David Barnett of the Tour Junkies, first time on this year's version of the Best Bet Show, but I want him to become a regular here, so you need to do better than Byron did last week. Byron was 0-3. When you invest a lot in Eric Cole and Seabez, it's not going to go well for you. However, Byron is back next week to redeem himself at the Players' Championship. I'll have Byron and Ben Coleon doing the gold, silver, and bronze picks. But DB, welcome to the show. What you got going on lately?
Thanks, man. Not as much winning as you have been lately in the DFS streets. Congrats for that. Congrats on the Underdog deal as well. I echo Cam's sentiments there. Love the Best Bets content every single week and love coming on the show. It's a good time. I love Byron. The Model Maniac is fantastic. I'm confident he'll redeem himself next week for the Players, and I'm pumped for API.
I enjoy, he was DMing me as it was going on. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I gave out these picks. I was like, listen, when you're doing this 15 years, you're going to give out some bad picks. You just have to roll with it, come back next week and fire stronger.
You know what I've noticed, Pat, too? I hate to say this. It's very similar to NFL. It's the betting world we're in. When the whole world's on something, it never works. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Everybody loves one side. Oh, I loved it. I'm not going to lie. Your boy Byron, I loved Eric Cole. I'm giving this pick. Oh, you got to take Cole, top 20 every week. Da-da-da. Yeah, guy at my work bets it for the first time. Text, hey, do you know Cole's 7 over and in last place? Yeah, I'm quite aware. Thanks. It's one of my hot picks. Yes, freezer cold.
And the outright picks. I mean, that's one of the, this wasn't the main reason to start doing the Best Bet Show, where we can talk about making the cut bets or head-to-head bets or top 20 bets, whatever it might be. But it's good timing, DB, because no one's really hitting winners anymore.
I mean, yeah, congrats to you and my boy Pat Perry for hitting the only favorite of the year to win a PGA Tour event, Jake Knapp at like 40-1. Unfreaking believable. And what's crazy is, like, I love the long shots. I mean, I've branded myself as a big balls betting guy, and I can't hit one of these guys to save my damn life. I had Norin last week. He was the closest I had to the top of the board. And so thank God for placement bets and stuff like this, because you're just probably bleeding money hammering PGA Tour outrights right now.
Yeah, you hit Knapp, didn't you, Cam?
Yeah, yes. You know what it was, Pat? It's actually, and I got to give you credit because you send me the newsletter, and I know I'm pretty bad with all the other stuff you sent me, but I read it and I'm looking at Knapp, and I really liked his story too. Like, he's kind of one of those guys, like, the more he talks, the more I like him. His grandfather And the fact that he's an Anaheim Ducks fan too, like one of the worst teams, he's a guy like close to me. Like he likes loser teams like me. I love this guy. I love the story of a guy that's driving, like Skins game, like he's driving Uber or what is it, food, DoorDash. He was delivering food and naps, kicking guys out of clubs and stuff. Like, I don't want a story of a guy who grew up with millions of dollars. Oh, well, I'm a great golfer. Look at me. My dad put everything into my junior golf. Like, I like guys that have problems in their lives and they fight it out and get through. I got nothing but love for Nap, Pat. I'm happy we both cashed, but you were the guy that brought me on to Nap, and I appreciate it, buddy. It really saved my life.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry, wallet. Yeah. I wasn't. I had a heart attack, and Pat and Jake Knapp resuscitated me. Oh, thank God. Yeah, you know what I mean, buddy. Save my financial future. Let's put it that way. Big win.
Well, DB, I wanted to ask you because there's been just a lot of chatter about Knapp. He does really well at Torrey Pines. He wins in Mexico. He has another great week at PGA National. And I think that you can kind of draw a line between Torrey Pines and Vedanta just based on the skill sets that we're looking at. Obviously, it takes a bit more skill at Torrey Pines because of the tougher green complexes, the greens themselves. A resort course in Mexico is going to be a little bit easier, but it's the same baseline skill set. Can you mash it off the tee? Can you hit some hot irons? Can you make some 8-foot putts? And boom, you can win this tournament. I did not expect him to do. I wasn't on Team Feinberg, who was like fade Jake Knapp at PGA National, but I didn't think that he would have this sort of performance again, though.
I mean, I didn't think he was going to do as well as he did with Rory in those first. I mean, just to win in Mexico, basically what looked to be a glorified Korn Ferry Tour event, and then the very next week they pair you with Rory for the first 2 rounds, and to do what he did those first 2 rounds, and then end up beating him by like 3 or 4 shots is pretty remarkable for the guy. I think, we can talk about the correlation off the tee to Mexico and Torrey and all that kind of stuff, but it also comes a lot down to, a guy that can hit from mid and long iron distances, shorter clubs with higher loft to hold these tough greens. And that's, that's probably where some of the largest advantage for some of these guys with high swing speeds can really come in. We ooh and ah over the tee shots, but, him being able to hit a 7 iron when most of the field's hitting a 5 is definitely an advantage no matter where you go.
So do you think that he's a real guy, or I brought this up to Jeff on Monday's show. Go check that out. But Paul had kind of made this comp. Like, is he just having like a 6-week run he's playing the best golf he'll ever play, and then he's just going to kind of go away? Kind of like Taylor Montgomery in a weird way when he went on that hot run, or is he a real guy?
I think you guys know. I just watch him play. With the eye test, he looks comfortable. He looks comfortable over putts. I just love the way he drives the ball. I would have said no with the first few holes when he had the lead, Pat. All over the place in the drink. I'm like, here we go. When I texted you, I'm like, where's Tim Anderson? Like, I need help here with our nap bet, right? And you were on vacation. You're like, with the wife and kid. I'm like, Pat, help. But yeah, no, I just watch Nap play, and he passes all the tests for me. He's got sneaky, like, great power. He looks comfortable over the ball. I love his iron game too. Like, if Rory had his wedge game the way he was shooting, like, he'd win every week. Like, that's the thing. I don't even know what Rory does. Like, he could win tournaments by 13 strokes if the guy didn't have blow-up holes. It's unbelievable to me. That's why people don't get away from him. But Pat, to your point, I think Knapp is here to stay. I think he's got game.
If that's the case, DB, shouldn't he be perfect for Bay Hill?
Yeah, I mean, being able to hit, high against irons that land soft into really firm greens seems like a good recipe. I don't know that we jump off the Knapp. The Knapp train just yet, honestly. I mean, the guy's shown a lot of promise. I mean, Kurt Kitayama won this thing last year, had never played it before. And they kind of have a similar profile. They hit it a long way. They hit good long irons, mid irons. So time will tell with Jake Knapp. I'm excited to, we're going to talk to him next week at the Players Championship, get some one-on-one time with him. The guy's, he's got chops. I think, he's 29, which some people would look at and say, maybe this is a flash in the pan because, what was he doing 6 years ago, right? Like we're used to our golfers being studs right out of college or somebody like Ludwig, but I don't know, man, a guy like this could have real staying power.
Yeah, it's very similar to the trajectory that Tony Finau kind of went on, where he was just a grinder on the Canadian tour and he played his way up, and then he got to the PGA tour and all of a sudden he's Tony Finau and like he's good. Although he's not playing this week for some reason.
And he won some, random week event, Puerto Rico, right? Wasn't that his first win?
Yeah.
and everybody's like, oh, could this be a thing? Could it not be? And then eventually, he's rattling off wins all the time. He's contending in majors. I mean, you talked about Taylor Montgomery earlier. The thing that kills me about Taylor Montgomery is that when he was hot, like the things that he does well, he hits it far, which is obviously good, and he putts the lights out of it. But to me, like I just see more opportunity for longevity in a guy like Jake Knapp when we see the ball striking is there, when we see the iron play is solid. We all know this. We've been handicapping golf long enough. Like we want to see the ball striking. The ball striking is what breeds the consistency in these guys. And Jake Knapp showing that more than a Taylor Montgomery, I would say, seems to be something that could be here to stay and be a problem on the PGA Tour.
Well, there's something that we need to address that was said online early on Tuesday morning, and it offended a lot of people, and I don't really know how to address it, but I told Paul that he can bring it up on the screen right now so we can kind of comment on it. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Cust went, I don't know if he's going to be canceled for this take or not. He may never appear on the show again. But he asked the people, what do they prefer? So Cam, in a poll, one or the other, what do you prefer? A cheese sandwich that's cold or a grilled cheese sandwich?
So this is real? Like, so you're saying like like 2 pieces of bread cold with like Velveeta or like Kraft singles compared to like a fresh made grilled cheese sandwich?
Yes.
This guy said, Pat, I don't even believe him half the time.
Thing.
A grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah. I want a cold cheese sandwich. Like it's got butter on it. Like, what's the deal here? Like, well, grilled cheese, please.
Paul, bring it up again, and we can see what Cuss said to this. He said, honestly, I would take a bowl of melted Kraft singles, aka his homemade queso or shredded cheese over the average grilled cheese sandwich. He just called his homemade queso melted Kraft singles that he makes in the microwave to melt.
First of all, know what it is? Like, they don't serve popcorn and like these hot grilled cheese sandwiches to seniors. Cuss is basically 80 years old because it gets caught in his throat and he chokes. That's his problem. Like, he has a real problem with stuff like that, Pat. And remember we talked about the most underrated, dangerous foods, and we did that like hit list. We got to go over it again, but this guy should be living at a seniors fucking center. Like, honest to God, like I don't even know what he's talking about half the time. Like, who would want a cold sandwich over like grilled cheese is amazing. Like, if you know what I do too, I do the mayonnaise instead of the butter too. Do you do the mayo trick, man? It's money in the bank. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I'm a no mayo kind of mayo, but what about you, DB?
Yes.
I'm actually not a mayo guy myself. I'm a Pat Mayo guy. I'm not a mayonnaise guy. Dude, I can't imagine my brain thinking about melting Kraft singles for queso. And I don't know if that's brilliant on his part or
it's like those old people, Pat. Like my dad, he had some weird habits, I guess, because when you grew up like, Scottish and you're trying to save a couple of pennies. Like I used to eat onion sandwiches. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Tim lives like he's.
I know, but there's guys who do it like seniors. Hey, I love liver. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was making onion sandwiches. I'm like, God, like, are you crazy? Like, just the scent of that. Like, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Wake up the neighborhood.
DB, I think you just stumbled onto something that we can market and sell to people online. We need to. I'll get my like Facebook ads guy. We can film a video for it. But you have like the keto diet, or this diet, that diet, the Great Depression diet, funded by Tim Andercuss.
I love.
I don't. Do we know if Tim is monetizing his Twitter? Because sometimes I'm like, is he just trying to get clicks? Like, is this a click account all of a sudden? Is he like a weird, like a very weird middle-aged man's like porn bot Twitter account trying to just get clicks and cash from Elon every month?
You think he could sign? I've been trying to get him to sign up for Underdog for like 5 days now, and he can't figure out how to do it. There's zero chance he knows how to monetize.
I can't blame him for those deficiencies, Patrick. I have some of the same thing. He's kind of like a more weird. Remember Andy Rooney on like talking about why chip bags are half full or why buy a tin of coffee, and you know what I mean? It's like he's one of those guys. Like he should be. You know what he should be? Like, remember Fight Back with David Horowitz, like a consumer guy that goes in when people get ripped off. And Tim would be really good in that role, I think, like getting after the man and telling him the product blows and that type of thing, because that's what he is. He's always got these crazy fucking takes about everything. So I think as like a consumer protector, that would be his gig. But I don't know, Pat. I don't know what to believe or not to believe with him anymore because his takes are so stupid.
Well, here's the thing. He would be terrible at the customer protection thing only because he doesn't know what things cost and he likes everything. Everything he eats, he likes. There's no bell curve. There's no like, oh, he called something, what was it, the McRib, how terrible the McRib was. He finally admitted, like, the McRib is not good because he went out of his, like, drove 4 hours to go get one. And he gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, which
so many people love the McRib.
It's gross.
I don't like the McRib, but I mean, it is a very popular, if you're talking about fast food sandwiches, I feel like the McRib is probably up there, like top 5. And that would be the one that Cuss says. See, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's big braining all of you. He probably monetizes Twitter like crazy. He's figured it out. He's figured out how to set up his account, how to get the direct deposit. He is doing this for clicks and engagement.
Paul?
That's the thing too, Pat. Like we live in Canada. Like you go down to the States, you go down to like the South, and all our American friends know like McRib. It was literally like I'll eat it. I'm not gonna say like, but no, if I go to Zaxby's, Bojangles chicken and biscuits. Like that's called real food.
Hell yeah.
Man. Like I would literally crawl on my hands and knees for a Bojangles chicken and biscuit sandwich in the morning. Like it fucking puts McDonald's like it's like Ric Flair versus Barry Horowitz. Like it's like a Hall of Famer versus a jobber. Like you can't even make this comparison. Former Jaguars quarterback David Garrard ran a Zaxby's. I was like, I'm there. I'm like, this chicken is so damn good. They got like the farm in the back. Like I don't even know what to tell you. Like the way we're getting screwed in fast food compared to our friends down south. Like it's not even a battle. That's what it is. Like it's like Tiger Woods versus some chop. It's unreal.
Is it Tiger Woods versus Stephen Ames?
Hey, dude, Stephen Ames makes money on the senior tour. That guy's been raking in cash, Pat. Like I don't know. No shot at choppers there. Remember the corn eating contest? Ames, Howell, Schwartzel. Let's go.
Paul, you wanted to chime in?
There's two things. One, Tim is definitely not monetizing because he is too afraid to give his credit card information to Amazon, so other people have to make Amazon orders for him.
I can't.
And then two, we always say that like he should be locked up, sent to prison, mostly as a joke, but like his palate would probably make him really enjoy jail. That's it.
He commits crimes for the food.
Yeah, I say, so you know what? If I was a poor guy, like, you get 3 squares there. I'm surprised they got to make jail harder for people because, like, if you're going to go out there and you're having a rough life, like, it could be a safe haven for a few. But I am going to say this, Pat. Like, I bought a Cardia mobile device on TV. I got roped in, and I wanted to see, like, when I was drinking and partying, and I do my heart rate test. Like most people, like, have conversations. I'm doing like charts, electrograms, and stuff like that. And I don't know. There was a company very close. It was like Cardia C instead of K, and they got my information. And like, yeah. It's very easy to get tricked online with these bots and other things. So I had to go get a bunch of new cards from TD Bank. So I'll defend Tim on that one. There's a lot of very, very shifty professionals out there. They find ways.
I mean, if you can figure out how to spell Amazon, I think you'll be fine.
I don't know, Pat. I'm starting to really worry about
you don't know? I will tell you it's fine.
Oh, I'm on Amazon. I literally, Pat, I'm so fucking lazy. Like one time I bought toilet paper from them. Big boxes came, like, 96 rolls of Charmin. I could have just gone up the street, but I'm going to try buying regular products on there. And yeah, I'm on Amazon. They come.
Oh, yeah. Well, DB, we have when you got little kids, you got to get the subscriptions from Amazon set up. We have toilet paper, kid shampoo, all on a delivery cycle coming to our house. So it just shows up once every 2 months.
Tim having other people order things for him on Amazon sounds like the plight of us gamblers in states where it's not legal, where you're texting your boy being like, hey man, can you, I really, like, my offshore doesn't have this. I really need you to order this for me. Can you put this in? Which again, no one should do. You're not supposed to do that, but that's, I'm not saying I have or have not done that, but it sounds like it's the same thing. And I understand, but not doing that on Amazon yourself is wild.
I'm not going to stop talking about it because I need you to get on Underdog Fantasy right now. Use code MAYO at sign up, and boom, you're eligible for a first-time deposit match up to $100. But it's not just like, hey, here's the app. Go make some plays. Go do a best ball draft. Go do a pick'em wherever you're at. Now, I got some plays for you right now. Round 1 of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. The weather's looking pretty good. I expect scoring to be at its highest on Thursday, or I guess lowest on Thursday than anything else. So I got a 2-banger for you. Doesn't quite get to 3-1 because probably of the weather, and I really like these numbers. Mr. Thursday himself, Patrick Cantlay. You want him on Thursday, you don't want him on Sunday, at least so far in 2024. We got Patrick Cantlay lower than 70.5 strokes. He shoots -2 or better, and boom, that leg is a winner. Really like that one. That's my favorite core play to start Underdog for Thursday, if that's where you're going with it. And then the second play is going to be his pal, Xander Schauffele. When we get to the bronze picks, both DB and I love Xander Schauffele this week in some of the matchups, some of the placements, but on Thursday itself, it's lower than 70. So -3 or better is a winner, -2 is a push, and we'll be on our way. That pays $150 on the slip, pays $414. So that's what we're playing for Thursday. Code Mayo at Underdog. And if you just want to replicate that entry that I just made, hit the description. That link will be down there so we can all win together on Underdog Fantasy. Code Mayo. And if you want to get into that draw where I'm giving away $5,000 for the Players' Championship, hit the description. Takes 15 seconds to fill out, and boom, you are in. All right, back to the show. Let's go to what we did last week. I was 2-1. I lost the gold pick. Carson Young let me down. Hit the other two. Raza was 1-2. Hit his head-to-head matchup with Benny Ann over some jabroni who missed the cut. And poor Byron. He was 0-3. But when we did it the time before at Pebble Beach, I was 2-1. Cam was 2-1. And our good pal James, Degenerate75. Get well soon, pal. We're all thinking about you. 2-1 as well that week. So let's see if we can try to do 2-1 for everyone. A 6-3 week is going to be pretty good when everything's at plus money. So I will kick things off with the gold selections of the week. So I was between two separate bets on this one guy. DB, you told me before the show, Corey Connors is costing you in season-long best ball on Underdog. We're doing a draft on Thursday, by the way. Me and Cody Main for major season. So get that Underdog account, Code Mayo on the go. But you can either bet Corey Connors with ties, top 20 at plus 145, or Corey Connors as top Canadian at plus 210. And he has to beat Silverman, Hadwin, Taylor, and Svensson. Which one do you like?
I kind of like the top 20 better. I feel like Svensson and Taylor could be sneaky good options this week. So I don't know. I feel like you've got for some reason I feel like you got less outs with Connors, maybe finding some sort of week where he can make a putt or two, because the ball striking's been Corey Connors-esque. It's just he's in like standard mode Corey Connors right now. So I do think that the top 20 would be my preferred play there on Corey.
All right, I'll give up the 75 cents, Cam, and go the plus 145 on the top 20 instead of top Canadian, because it didn't sound like you like top Canadian either.
No, James is right, because you never know. Silverman's been like, I don't think he's going to do it again, but I'm like, who the hell is like Silverman's on fire? I just think it's a tough bet. I would take the lower one, Pat, because I like that. I like the top 20 market a lot, but I'll tell you, last week, man, these guys are so unbelievable. Like I had Ben on. What does he finish? 21st. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 21st. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, not T20, it's 21. You know how many times that happens? It's like, this can't be real, but it happens all the time. That's why, like, people, I know they want the plus money in the top 10 markets. Like, you need bigger cushions in this stuff, right? That's me. I'd rather win a bet, lay a little juice, or not get as much.
All right, so that's me going with Corey Connors. I did bet him outright at 80-1, gave that out on the show on Monday, and it's in the newsletter. David Barnett of the Tour Junkies, your gold selection of the week, sir.
Dude, actually, my gold selection is the longest number that I'm going to give you out of the three bets. But it's a guy that, has had a great year, and I think we could be witnessing a level up, right? We saw a guy like Wyndham Clark have this like level up year last year where it felt like he became a different player and it was kind of here to stay. I think Eric Van Rooyen is evolving before our eyes, and I have some firsthand info on this, but he's plus 170 on MGM to finish in the top 20. That's what I like. Give me the full payout on ties at MGM. Plus 170, big number. I talked to so his caddy Alex Goggert's a friend of ours. I talked to him on Monday, and I was like, bro, you guys are just continuing to do it on all kinds of courses, in different fields. What's going on? He told me a few things. A couple of the things he mentioned was he started working with Sean Foley last year. That's helped him a ton. And the putting has improved drastically. If you look in 2024, EVR has increased his driving accuracy by over 10%. He's hitting 10% more fairways than he used to. Ball speed is the same compared to compared to all of 2023. The putter he's gaining over a half a stroke around putting right now in 2024. Last year he was like dead even or negative for the most part. So the putting's improved, accuracy off the tee is getting better. He also just finished first in the net division with John Pinkham at the Seminole Pro member and T8th for the gross. So he just keeps on dominating no matter where he goes. I think EVR is a solid play here. Top 20, give it to me.
All right.
I love that pick so much. Like it's just, I'm going to tell you something, Pat. I had him the week before. I've been on EVR. Like, he almost did it again. If the conditions played worse, and he probably would have won there before those guys got back on the course. Like, he's a beast. I don't know how this guy did it at the University of Minnesota. Like, it's not a real golf program. More, Minnesota known more for basketball and football. Well, used to be a good football program, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't hear like guys who go to those schools for golf, but there's just something about EVR too. He doesn't give a shit. Like, you look at the guy and he's just kind of his own man. His best buddy passed away. He's a likable character. I'm not really down with those pants that are really tight, like the tight joggers of the new style.
I have a pair of those pants.
Oh, Pat, because you know what?
Same, Pat.
That's who you guys are. You guys are lean, modern guys. I'm a big old Shane Lowry guy. Like, I wear slacks. That's just, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's a younger man's game with those tight pants. But I'll tell you something. EVR is my guy. Everything but the slacks. I'm a big fan of his personality. And he doesn't take himself too seriously. Nice guy, seems like. I'd like to meet him, actually.
Yeah, he's got that big duster, so he can't take himself that seriously. David,
Yeah.
I wasn't sold. Like, I had to go buy a pair. I think they were the FootJoy ones that I ended up buying just because it was super cold one day, so I bought them in the pro shop, and I went and tried them on. I was like, hey, these fit really nice. And I play really great whenever I wear them, but I came home that day, and my wife's like, those pants look great on you. I was like, well, I might as well buy 20 of them now and just walk around the house.
Yeah, ladies like that stuff. I don't know.
So
like,
then,
how about your
stretch game
ankles,
home
though?
life.
You got to protect your ankles. Like, you can't be going around bogs, waterways, a lot of snake. Like, that's the thing. Like, I prefer a cuff that can protect me if a snake wants to crawl up my leg. You know what I mean? Especially those Florida courses. But anyway, it looks good on you guys. But yeah, that's a real hot style. But I just haven't bought it.
Would you put anything, DB, to the fact that EVR might be an easy course guy?
I mean, I think you could, but I'm believing in the level up right now. So I think better putting. Sean Foley too. Like, we know this about Sean Foley. We talked to Sean Foley a good bit at the Waste Management. He was working with Ben on. Sean Foley's also not just a swing coach; he's a mental coach. We all have seen EVR kind of crash and burn. He did it famously at the PGA. Was that at Kiowa when he like destroyed the tee marker?
That was at the Players.
Was it at the Players?
Yeah, it was at the Players. He rinsed one. I mean, he has a big rinsing problem, but
he does.
He seemingly have solved that.
But I do think he's in a better spot mentally too, and that is where that is going to be necessary on a tougher golf course in tough conditions. I mean, I know the Honda or Cognizant, whatever, didn't play like we're used to seeing it play, but it's still not an easy golf course, and it still kicks you in the dick from time to time. So I think I want to be ahead of the level up, kind of like some people were with Wyndham last year. And I'm going to choose to believe that it's here and that it's not going to matter if it's a tougher course or historically if he's only done it on easier courses. I think eventually the evolution of the golfer, if it's going in the right direction, it will translate on a tougher golf course.
Looking at EVR right now, I ran the updated model for me on fantasynational.com. He comes in 12th. That's just behind Theegala and Luke List, ahead of Cantlay, ahead of Pavon, ahead of Ben Ann, ahead of Justin Thomas, ahead of Shane Lowry. And for his odds, I mean, he's pretty deep down the board. Like, if triple-digit guys keep winning every single week, is this your ploy? You're just going to bet EVR? I bet Tom Hoagie because I saw him at 100-1. I was like, well, triple-digit guys win every week. I need to have like at least 2 of them now.
It does make sense. I'm not opposed to the outright whatsoever. He's not as high in my model. He's 22nd in my model, but I do think he's getting a ding for some of his past API performance and his past Florida performance in mine. But I mean, it's not like he hasn't played well in Florida. He had a T13 at Sawgrass in 2022, had a top 10 at the Valspar last year. So it's not like he can't get it done on grainy Florida, Bermuda golf courses. So that's where he's really getting dinged in my model. But I'm in. I'm all in on EVR.
Yeah, so since we revamped the tools at Fantasy National at the beginning of the year, I have now won 4 DraftKings GPPs, so I'm up like 25K so far this season. It's fucking awesome. I can pay off all my debts from the previous 10 years on DraftKings, but in the short-term modeling, so taking out the history at the course, so I built 2. I built one with the course conditions, and I built one with just the short-term past 24 rounds of what this course demands. He's 12th in that one. In the historical one, to your point, David, he's 45th in mine with those.
Yep. So, obviously some of that's, again, if we're talking about a guy who's just maybe a different player right now than he was a year ago, then you can choose to ignore it.
For sure. So, Cam, gold pick for you.
Well, Pat, I came in, you know what I mean? You thought I was going to chuck a rock. I'm bringing in an Uzi, a bazooka. Scotty Scheffler, top USA, plus 460. That's my gold pick.
I mean,
I'm not screwing around. If somebody else wins the tournament, he's basically 6-1. I'm getting plus 460 for top USA. I worry a little bit about Rory and a couple other guys internationally, so I'll just take Scheffler. This guy's money in the bank. I know the putting has been suspect. If he putts average, I expect him to win this tournament. So I will take him as the top American at plus 460. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think it's a great number. And I think Scheffler can win. I think he's got a great chance to win this tournament. And that number fits right down. It's right in my wheelhouse right now. Scotty Scheffler, top American, plus 460. Let's rock.
I actually prefer it, Cam, to the outright win. Just getting rid of Rory. I am so deadly terrified of Rory this week.
So am I.
Just after leading last week, tee to green. DB, we see this every year where it's just like, oh, Rory ho-hum, Rory ho-hum. It's like, oh, he got it together. And I'm hoping it doesn't happen this week. It's going to happen one of these weeks. Just hoping that this isn't the week. But it's just lingering in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I'm usually not very afraid of Rory. But with all the randomness so far this year, I'm actually afraid of everyone else more so than I am maybe Rory. But I do think it's an interesting angle. I got to be honest. Like, when I'm looking at those nationality bets, I usually always skip right over the American because it's just so many people, and I'm like, let me find something smaller. But to think about it the way you have, that is a more preferable number. You eliminate some of that variance. If EVR wins, and Scotty finishes ahead of the other Americans, you're still getting that juice. I love it, actually. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, think about this. So Scheffler plus 460. I got Xander at 9, Cantlay at 10, Morikawa 13, Spieth 14, Burns 14, Homa 16, Cameron Young, who might do well this week, 17, and Justin Thomas. I'm like, I'm in on Scheffler. Like, I worry about, I think Scheffler will be top American. I think somebody else from around the world could win. So that's where I'm going, fellas.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of internationals do well here over the years. Now, I tried to theorize this. I wrote my column that's in my newsletter. So, Cam, you probably read it as well. You can subscribe for free down in the description or just go to Substack, Mayo Media, just get sent right to you. But Scheffler's the favorite. And then Rory and Victor, so you take them out of the market, are the second and third favorites, and Ludwig is the sixth favorite in this. So you eliminate guys that are 9-1, 14-1, and 18-1 off the hop immediately, and you're really only losing 2 points of juice, like $2. I mean, it's a lot, but you're getting rid of some very high-quality players. But for a while, international players, David, did really well at Bay Hill, and they won like year over year over year. But that's before the revamped schedule and turning this into an elevated event. It's not that there were weaker fields at Bay Hill, but they weren't as strong, obviously, as they are right now. And a lot of the European players that we hadn't seen for the West Coast swing, because they just usually played in Europe, would play Honda and then play this. So I feel like we just got a lot of good European and international players in this field at this time of year, where now everyone plays.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. I also think it just, when Bay Hill plays tough and when Bay Hill plays brutal, wind, short game, all that kind of stuff, like typically we see overall, like the European players tend to handle that stuff better, right? It just feels like Scotland, just different grass. So, I think that could have something to do with it. I think when Hatton won, it was kind of a tough year. Oh, yeah. But we've also seen plenty of American dominance. I mean, Tiger 8 times, Bryson, we see that too. So, something to consider. I haven't looked at the weather. I looked at the weather this morning. It does look like we might get a little wind on the weekend. Might be could get interesting at Bay Hill, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's now a little bit windier throughout the course of Friday. Thursday still looks pretty good. It seems like it's moving up a little bit. When I first did the research show on Sunday, it looked like Saturday and Sunday would be impacted by wind. Thursday and Friday were fine. Now it's looking like Thursday is going to be fine. Friday it's picked up a little bit. The strongest winds are going to be on Saturday, and it's not windy. windy in the afternoon on Sunday, but it's only like 17 miles per hour, not 27 miles per hour kind of thing. But it does look like, I mean, if people just saw what I gave out as my underdog picks for round one, that I think you just want to kind of smash. But guys are going to score on Thursday, it feels like.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, we don't have near the wave advantage with so many, you know, so few players in these freaking signature events with limited fields, but there could be something to it. It's Florida, right? So it could change on a moment's notice. So we'll keep an eye out on it, but it is interesting to see it's moving up. So it could affect those first couple rounds.
Cam, I want to throw this to you because I saw, I forget who it was who threw it out. Completely, I apologize because it's not my original take. But maybe it was Sammy Knoll. Now I can't remember. I'm sorry, whoever's take this is. But the signature events have kind of ruined the PGA Tour. They're stupid, and I don't like them.
I kind of agree. Like there's a lot of things that, you know, sponsors pay for money, but some of these guys that get exemptions, it's stupid. There's a lot of things I don't like, but yeah, I don't know. Like, what is golf? To me, it's about majors, and I don't care about like other things. And you could try to have these other, like, yeah, there's tournaments that you like more. I got to be honest with you. I prefer the Florida swing over the California swing and any swing because I want to see conditions. I was actually pissed this week. I'm like, no winds or whatever. That course played easier than it ever has. Like I love the Valspar with the big snake and, you know, the snake pit and all that. Like, I want to see guys struggle, but that's not the way the world is now. A lot of professional athletes, why don't basketball players want to go in slam dunk competitions? They want to embarrass themselves. Like, you know, so we'll get like hacks to go in, guys from the G League. That's just the world we're living in right now. I don't know, guys. For me, it's all about the majors. I don't give a shit about signature events, this and that. I like golf. I love golf. And I just want to see guys struggle a lot more. Pat, remember when the Canadian Open, we was like Bo Van Pelt battling John Daly? I think, was that at Shaughnessy back in the day? Like, I remember the winning score was like four under. I'm like, that played like a major. It's a national tournament.
I believe it was Sean O'Hare, not Bo Van Pelt.
Well, Bo Van Pelt was there. I remember I had money on BVP, EVR, BVP, friends of the program. Anyway, I like Bo Van Pelt. He was actually a nice guy. Anyway, Pat, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just find it to be a little bit too easy. I don't want guys winning at like 30 under. You know what? Signature events to me, it's another betting week. Majors are my bag. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, it's not so much that I despise the elevated events. I just despise them how they're currently constituted because, and maybe I'm the outlier on this, but I do think, DB, that if this was the case and people really wanted to see these limited field no-cut events, they would fucking watch Live, but they don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a little bit of Live.
So do I, but like, it's the same thing.
I think
it's the same thing every week. And that's what these events have become. It's the same thing every single time. Like, give me 120 guys in this field at least, and actually have guys miss the cut. Have a struggle out there. Like, I'm kind of with Cam. I don't want to see the world's easiest tournaments. I think some sort of mix of a hard, easy to average is something that we need to do. But there needs to be a little bit of pressure on these guys to play well, so they're not just there, even though they suck for the 2 days.
Completely agree. It's losing its variety in terms of difficulty and how these courses, you know, everybody was pissed about Not My Honda last week and all that. And maybe there was some overreaction on Thursday that only got corrected Friday because of wind. But ultimately, like, Honda at least had some sort of character to it. It had an identity as a tournament that it lost. And because the tour waters it down, you know, the rumor is the tour is trying to buy, basically, that, you know, they're trying to now own the rights of these tournaments themselves to set them up how they want. It is unfortunate. 115, 120 players would be perfect. It's not so big that the tour can't figure out a way to get everybody to play in the same day, and we don't have, you know, finishes the next round. I mean, but it's large enough that you could have a cut. I think, you know, everybody wants this context, right? Because golf is a contextual game. It's a historical game. That's the biggest criticism to Live in my mind, is that I don't, and this is someone who bets on Live and watches Live and enjoys parts of the product. Like, I don't like looking at golf courses I have no context of, like, that I haven't seen before, that I don't know, that there's no history to. And I think it works the same way with a cut. Like, we all grew up watching golf when there was a cut. The greatest sports accomplishment, like, that shows consistency in my mind, is Tiger's made cut streak that will never be broken again. But I mean, part of it, there's no damn cut anywhere, but like we had context to growing up and seeing even good players have bad weeks, miss the weekend. They're not all just handheld cash, handheld FedEx points, handheld, just get spoon fed all these things. And so the tour is losing the context of what the tour has been. Now, does the tour need to make a ton of changes? Of course. But I don't think that's one of them. It's losing its luster for me too, man. It's a struggle out there for sure.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like it's it's not supposed to be easy. Like that's the whole thing. Like, you know what I mean? And the one thing I love about golf is like a Jake Knapp story. You win a tournament, you're set for a while. You've earned it. Now you get to go into other events and you get a pass to go into this stuff. To your other point, David, your great point. Why do people love the Masters? They know every damn hole, every lie, what the hole is named, and it repeats itself every single year, like going to see friends at like a fantasy football draft. You don't get to see them, that's your time. Everyone's got kids, everyone's got troubles, everyone's got shit going on in their lives. That's the time where you see them, and that is the Masters. It's comfort food. Some of these other tournaments, it's not. And that's the whole problem. Like, there has to be a struggle to make money. There has to be a cut to get in. And if you make the cut, you get a paycheck. If you don't, you go home. That's what sports is supposed to be about. But this fucking watered down world society that we're in now, give everybody everything. That's the problem with life. You know, sometimes adversity is good. When you get beat down for something, it tells you to get better. And that's why I like about Jake Knapp. And that's what I like about Von Ruin. Like, these guys are going through it. It wasn't easy for them, but they keep plodding. They keep grinding. And once you get over that hump, I think that you become a better person. You know, you get the money that you deserve. And I think you grow everywhere. I think you grow with your relationships and everything in life. So that's the way I look at it. I think it needs to be changed. It's too damn easy. And I think there should be cuts all the time. Sorry, but that was a long-winded answer, but I feel you.
Silver selections for the Arnold Palmer Invitational or one of the other tours where I am going for my silver selection. I'm going to Puerto Rico, fellas. And I'm taking my guy, Bobby Mack, who loses 2 strokes around putting, top 20 in Puerto Rico, plus 150. The only time he has had a modicum of success on the green so far this season has been in Mexico on the slow paspalum greens. Like, it is atrocious how bad he has been putting so far this season. The only other guy who's been worse than him is Rico, who I also bet on in Puerto Rico this week at like 110-1. But Bobby Mack's ball striking is pretty legit at the moment. Like, this is a guy who's on the Ryder Cup team like 6 months ago, and now he's 50-1 to win in Puerto Rico against a scrub field. I did bet him to win. Now, I don't think that he's necessarily going to win. I think that he has a great chance at this, but plus 150 for a top 20 for a guy who might be the best tee to green player, at least top 3 tee to green player in this field, Cam, just seems like a lot.
That's crazy. Like, I watched McIntyre too. Remember that event overseas? He had a worse lie. He nuts a shot to like 1 foot, and Rory hits. I had McIntyre
that one
90-1 that week. I gotta be honest with you, that was so damn depressing. I'm like just sitting there going, Rory, why now? I've had you so many times, and all of a sudden you hit putts from like 40 feet. I was losing my shit. And I'll tell you, like, I love McIntyre. You're going to get that guy at that price, Pat. It's an automatic bet, in my opinion. He might not win, but I'm a big fan of his game. I'm a lefty too, so and part Scottish. So check 2 boxes.
Well, we can get a threesome on the go. The lefty Scottish threesome. We could have you, Bobby Mack, and Cust, and you guys will be good.
Yes, Cuss is a lefty too.
Oh yeah,
of course he is. Of course he is.
DB, silver pick for you.
That's great.
This one could be a little, this one could have a little controversy. Okay. A little controversy here. We talked about him at the beginning of the show. My boy Byron went down with him last week. I went down with him last week, but I'm back. Plus 160, Eric Cole, top 20 on MGM. Yes, I'm going to do it. Let me help. I can't
believe that. Honestly, David, I can't believe this. That is like, I have 4 things written down. That's in my 3-hole. Eric Cole. I don't know what we're reading each other's mail. Like, don't you like taking guys that shit the bed to come back? Because everyone's going to be off him this week. I like Cole, man. This is the week he shows up, because last week he broke everybody's hearts and wallets.
I like Bez better than Cole this week as the rebound.
Do you
guy.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Bez is good too.
So we had Matt Every on the show last night. And, you know, Matt, we all know, 2-time winner of Bay Hill. Matt played in the Pro-Am yesterday. And we asked him about his thoughts on Eric Cole. And he goes, dude, I saw Eric on the range. I asked him what happened. Eric said, I had a few bad swings. I played too aggressively. if you look at the strokes gained, I went back and looked at his both rounds. He really had 6 bad iron shots. Okay, now that does seem like a lot for Eric Cole over 2 rounds. Okay, he lost 3 shots alone on the bear trap, which can happen. It can happen. On Friday, the tougher day, he shot even par. He actually gained almost a half a stroke on the field total for that round on Friday. It was obviously round 1 that Cam was getting his text from his buddy saying, "Did you know Eric Cole was 7 over?" That was the one that killed him. But I did not realize what a home game this is for Eric Cole. Now, we also know, we've been doing this long enough, that home games on the PGA Tour for guys can be good or they can be terrible. For him, he played this event last year. He missed the cut. But he grew up with Sam Saunders. He's an Orlando guy through and through. Every said the guy's played this course thousands of times. He's super comfy here. And he said he looked good. He looked good on the range. He sounded good. He just said, I was too aggressive, is what it is. It was his worst iron week of his PGA Tour career. Or worst iron 2 rounds of his PGA Tour career last week. And we've all been firing on this guy to win at like 30, 40 to 1 for the last 12 months. So now I get a better price on him in a 69 player field to finish top 20, MGM plus 160. I'm going to get back in. If he hurts me again, I'll take it like a man and probably hold him, hold it against him for a couple weeks. But I want to try the bounce back here.
Okay. Cam, silver pick from you.
Oh, this is tough, guys. So first of all, Cole's. I'm all in on Cole, but I got to ask you this, guys. I actually want an opinion because I would smash this bet, but it's one guy. Matthew Fitzpatrick, top English plus 130. He's got to beat Fleetwood. It's basically a matchup bet.
And Rose.
Yeah, and Rose too. Yeah,
although, as someone who invests in Rose from time to time in the daily fantasy game, I can tell you he loves being good for 6 holes and then being terrible.
Yes, he does. But what do you guys feel about like Fitzpatrick? He kind of, I thought like I was all like, Pat, I know you loved him too. What was he, 33? And he started to make a move. I'm like, here he goes. But you want to talk about rinsing it? That guy should be sponsored by Tide. Like this guy was in the water so many damn times. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like he was killing me. And just missed putts. And I think this course could be good for Matt Fitzpatrick though, guys. Like, but I worry about Tommy Fleetwood because he could play well too. But I don't know. What's your opinion, guys? I'm kind of torn right now.
I'm on Team Fitz over Team Fleetwood 100%. And I was actually like, I have one more spot, and I was trying to track the weather before. I mean, I could have 2 spots low. I could add like an EVR and someone. But Xander keeps sticking out to me as a really good bet this week by every metric that I look at. And he's actually falling down the board a little bit right now. I think I can get him as low as... Let's see, Xander 17. All right, maybe I can. Maybe
I saw an 18 out there.
So there's an 18 out there.
18.
We get it to a 20, and I'll be in on Xander. So that's the only reason that I haven't bet Fitzpatrick outright to win so far, Cam. So
no, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I think when we went 2-1 on our bets, I lost. But Fitzpatrick was our loser, right?
No, you
David,
bet.
We were both on for something.
No,
right?
you bet against Oberg. You just did it.
Oh yeah, Aberg, whatever we call him. I like the. Yeah, you're right. He screwed us hard, but I think give me Fitzpatrick plus 130. I can't get scared. You got to come back to it. Even though he finished 21st, I'm going to take him top Englishman plus 130.
I like it. Bronze picks for the week. DB, you got any live stuff, or are you going to stick with the API?
No, I haven't gotten into my live handicapping yet. I got to learn about this golf course. We've got a few caddy friends that are at live, so I'm waiting on a text about this golf course.
I can give you some info on it.
Do you?
It's okay. It's a par 70. It's 6,700 yards, and it's super tight because it's in Hong Kong. So there's not a whole lot of real estate to deal with here. So you don't have much room to maneuver. You need to be like wildly accurate, but most guys can club down. I went back, actually Baroff sent me the thing because I kept calling it Singapore and thought it was Singapore. And then I went and looked at the old Asian Tour and DP World Tour for the Hong Kong Open. Now, this is a composite of both the courses put together. I don't know if the old one actually worked that way, but they're all very tight. But it was just Aussies, man. Aussies crushed this. 4 of the past 5 winners, Aussies.
Look at you, man. Well, listen, if I get any intel from the ground, I'll pass that along to you as well. But no, I actually just stuck with API for the 3 bets. I was going to do a Puerto Rico bet, but I feel like my approach to Puerto Rico is just I'm going to just throw out nuclear bomb outrights and be done. I don't know that I have any sort of handle on placements for anybody there because it's just going to be a random tournament. So I'm just throwing out nukes for outrights and I'm done at Puerto Rico. So do you want my bronze API bet?
Let's have it.
Well, you actually just brought him up. I'm taking a matchup. I'm taking Xander plus money on DK over Victor Hovland. And it's a little bit of a fade of Hovland more so than it is, I mean, I believe in Xander. He's playing fine. Who knows if we can ever trust the guy to close the door and win a golf tournament again. But first of all, there's the rumors, right? There's the rumors about Vic's 2024 where maybe he's been battling a little bit of an injury. Maybe he's not feeling great about his golf swing. But I just want to give you quick data points real quick. Coming into API, which obviously Vic has played quite well. In 2024, in the 3 events that he's played in 2024, he's plus 1.64 strokes ball striking total when you add it up, off the tee and approach. In 2023, when he finished T10 here, he was plus 23.5 strokes ball striking coming in. And in 2022, where he finished runner-up, he was plus 18 strokes ball striking. Considerably worse off the tee and approach play coming in this week than he has been over the last 2 years. I will take the plus money on a guy like Xander, who's been extremely consistent, ball striking solid. We know he can putt on Bermuda when he's hot. I'll take the plus money on DK plus 105.
Well, this isn't good. This was my exact bronze pick.
It was it?
Yeah, and I got Cole as my exact
Shit.
bronze pick. So hey man, this ship we sink like the Titanic, or we just smooth and it's a party boat. So we'll see what happens, man.
So,
Sorry.
okay,
Sorry.
I'm going to scramble here and try to come up with a different one here. And Cam, well, you're giving your pick.
Well, I'm going to go with Cole too, but I want to do something different now. So I just don't want to have like the same, we all have the same picks, but what do you guys think about Cam Young this week?
I think, listen, I am going to be on the fade Cam Young train. So he's going to come third.
Okay, so I am always on the fade Cam Young train,
Me too.
But I want a little piece this week, which is weird. I said this last night on our show with Pat. Pat's a noted Cam Young homer. I'm a noted Cam Young not homer, like he's not going to do it. But I like him more in the placement situations. I still don't love what you have to bet him at to win, but a placement, I actually feel pretty good about him this week.
So
you know what, guys? Here's the thing, Pat. You can go outright markets players. I'm looking at this one and I got to find it, but it's like they have like a 22 or better player market. So here we go. Okay. I got to find Young. Where is this guy? Damn it. This thing's not scrolling. I'll find it. You guys work on something here. I'm having a lot of technical issues right now. I'm just going to brag. Why doesn't Radio Shack still exist? I need a tech guy. Is that company Nerd still around? Nerd Hustle? What are they, Pat? Nerds?
Geek Squad?
Geek Squad Nerd Hustle.
Geek Squad. Yeah, I need Geek Squad. Like I need a kid over here quickly, and I need him to reboot everything. But I'm gonna find this thing for you as I scroll. But Cam Young, he has like on Bet365, Pat. It's like a 20. They have those even money bets. Like they have 28th or better, 29th or worse, or whatever. I know he's in one of them. I'm gonna find Cam Young too.
Okay,
That's
so
gonna be my bet.
So I've spun this around. I was thinking about Brandon Wu top 20, Brandon Wu in Puerto Rico, but I moved off that. I bet him to win. I bet Chan Kim to win. I bet Bobby Mack to win and Goddard to win and Hui. Those are my 5 picks for Puerto Rico. If anyone wanted to know those.
Who, David Hui?
David, yeah.
Oh. Hey Pat, I found it. Can I lay 20 cents? But remember our threshold, isn't it 30 on the show for football?
Oh, no. For golf, I mean, like, listen, I gave out like a minus 160 top 20 because it was my favorite bet of the week. You can do what you want here.
Well, I gave you Scheffler top USA at plus 460, so I'm playing with a little bit of house money right now. Cam Young on Bet365, 22nd or better, minus 120. Sold.
That's pretty good.
He's gonna finish T23 on you.
Of course he will. You know he's finishing 23rd. That's the way it rolls. I need some Pat Mayo luck. Pat, I never would have said this, but you're a lucky rabbit's foot these days. I gotta fly over to Halifax and you gotta get a Buddha. I gotta rub it, do something. Like I gotta change my luck. I've been just losing by the hooks these days. One position. You know how it goes when you've been gambling for years. It's just, come on, can I catch a break? Can I get a comeback? Something to work, but it'll happen.
It's crazy because, I mean, like everyone else, I've just been bleeding money in the outright betting market because that's going to happen in the outright betting market. But every bad piece of luck on DraftKings that I've had over the past 8 years at the end of tournaments of things not breaking my way have all just broke my way this year. Like,
that's great.
I needed an eagle from Toasty at Torrey Pines on the 17th hole in order to win a tournament? Eagle. It's like perfect. I needed Lowry to make a double bogey in order to win on Monday, and he did on 15. That's how it worked out for me.
So that was you.
That was me.
Watch my Lowry monies go into the drink. Yeah, there we go. But
So
I'm happy for you.
So let me ask you this. So you have him 22nd or better in that market at minus 120.
Yeah.
Why not just take him top 20 at minus 105 and save the 15 cents?
Because he might finish 21st or 22nd, and it's a push.
Is that worth 15 cents?
I don't know. It's probably not, Pat, but the way things are going, he will finish like 22nd, and you win on ties, right? Okay, give me top 20. Let's not make it stupid. But if he finishes 21st or 22nd, you got to invite me back on, and we're gonna have a little chat about this.
That's
I haven't
fine.
bet it yet.
It's only 69 guys, Cam. I think you're good.
Oh, this is got.
That's a kiss of
Tim
death right
Anderson
there.
written. Oh, it's done. Anyway, you'll take it. If he finishes 21st, Pat, like I'm gonna lose my mind. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, 23rd. Yeah, give me top 20.
Yeah, so
see why.
Top 20 Cam Young with ties as well. So that's not going to get chopped on you at minus 105. Yeah. My bronze bet is going to be Xander Schauffele top 10 at plus 150. So I'll rework it that way. I like seeing these odds come down on him though. That's how you can see. You want to sucker me into Xander? Give me something that I don't feel like I have to like really make a stand on for the week, that I can just add him at some point. I would feel much better about that. Do you know who I said it on the show last week, DB? Eckroat was my last cut of guys I was going to bet because I got an enhancement, like a 30. Actually, you know what? I have my 30% boost to use, so I can boost up Xander Schauffele to probably like 23 to 1 on like Wednesday when that comes around. But I got this boost. I got all excited. I was like, oh, I'll bet Tom Kim. Perfect. No need to add Eckroat. Tom Kim, who like sucks.
What I was going to ask you. So you had the same matchup as me with Xander over Hovland. Is it more for you the Xander vibes, or are you a little concerned about Hovland now?
It's both. I see one guy going up and one guy going down at the moment. Now that can flip for Vic.
Yeah.
Another shitty performance from Vic this week and next week would actually be, then I would actually start to get sort of like enticed by his Masters odds to like blind bet him at what. But the problem is the futures market doesn't work that way anymore. That it's not like Vic's going to go from 14 to 30 or something like that. He'll just go from like 14 to 14, and then week of he'll be 18. By the time, like, I would want to see him do well at like Valero or Houston or something like that. He'll probably play one of those events or Valspar in between. Like, oh, he's got some form back again. Let's get back in on Vic. But until I see it, it just feels, to me, it just feels like maybe he's had some good run at this course over the past 2 years, and he has the required skill set. Obviously, he can flick it on like that. But I don't know. It just, that like T21 bet for the 22nd place or better, that's like right where I see Victor around this week, like 24th place or something.
Yeah, and it's not like he's not capable, like you said. I mean, he's obviously a freakishly talented guy, so he could totally make us look dumb here. But, when you look at what he did over the summer, I mean, the guy won, like $20 million in 2 weeks? And then he played, he only play the Hero, and that was it? And then 2024 has been just 3 events and lackluster. Like, I'm not saying, I don't know. It is just interesting, though, that, he won all that cash. He took that time off, comes back, and he doesn't look like Vic. He's still really good, but he doesn't look like even average Vic Hovland right now. So it'll be interesting to see what it is. And you give me plus money on Xander, who's been consistent. I'll take it.
I will say this, though. Oklahoma State has been a nice little golf program there with Eckroat. He went to Oak State. Noren was in contention last week. We all know about Hovland. Like, Ricky's going to get it together. So nice little.
Don't forget Taylor Gooch. Don't forget Taylor.
Yeah. No, isn't the Gooch Oklahoma? He's Oklahoma though, not Oklahoma State. I think Gooch is a Sooner. Is he not? He's a Sooner, not a Cowboy.
I thought Gooch went to Oak State.
Nah, he went to Oklahoma. I'm almost positive. Pat, can you check the reference bank? I'm guaranteed Gooch went to Oklahoma. He's not Oak State.
Taylor Gooch enjoyed a prolific college career at Oklahoma State University.
Oh, okay. See you, Pat. Cut my mic. Later. Taylor Gooch went to Oak State? I thought he went to Oklahoma. Oh, Abraham Answer might have gone to Oklahoma. Man, I've done a lot of partying.
What happened to that guy, by the way?
Well, you got questions, I got answers. Who knows? That's the question.
But wait, what you said about Vic, DB, reminds me of what happened to Cam Smith last year, where he won the Open Championship, he did the President's Cup, then he joined LIV, and I don't think he touched a golf club for like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean Cam. We know Cam loves his fishing down there in Ponte Vedra. I don't know what else Vic does other than play golf and listen
Fortnite.
to heavy metal and maybe it's Fortnite. I don't know, but smoking weed. He could be doing that too. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying like sound the alarm on Vic, but it's a bet. It's a plus money bet against him. We'll see what happens.
And yes, you were correct, Cam. Answer went to OU.
Yes, he did. I guess. Yeah, just things are, happens when you party over the years, Pat. Things just wires get crossed. But yeah, I don't know why I think Gooch went to Oklahoma. Anyway, OSU's doing very, very well. That was kind of the bottom line with that growth there. Good golf program.
Outright. Any outrights you guys are on? Like I haven't added any since I put out the newsletter, but for Live, I bet Cam Smith at 20-1. I bet Lucas Herbert at 65-1. Get this, Cam.
Yeah.
Cameron Smith is currently 20-1 to win this week on the Live Tour. He is 18-1 to win the Masters.
Wow.
Wow, that's craziness. That's so stupid. I don't know, man. Neiman's doing some really good things. Like this guy's been flying around the world winning golf tournaments. Pat, is he playing this week or is he too tired?
Oh no, they all have to play every week.
Or the Sheiks come at you. Those are guys you don't want to piss off. That could be a real problem. A sheik, a sword, and a camel? No thanks. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's insane to me, Patrick. That makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely not.
And he was second here last year on the Asian Tour as well, at the Hong Kong Open. It was an Asian Tour event. It wasn't a full Live event, but a lot of the Live guys played. So I'm hoping, despite a poor start on Live, that Cam can start getting the mojo flowing again and pick up a win here at 20-1. But the main reason was because his number was bigger than it was at the Masters. I was like, that's kind of stupid. Same reason I bet Wyndham Clark this week. I looked at Wyndham Clark. He was 55-1. It was like Ben And 40-1. Eric Cole 45-1. JT Poston 50-1. It's like, this guy won a major in 2 signature events in the past 8 months, and he's behind these jamokes.
We Pat, we did a show with this girl, Taylor Mathis, that comes on our network.
The porn star?
She goes, oh, so yeah, no, we were talking and
oh no, I'm sorry to Taylor. It was remember Gabe's old friend Taylor, who was the porn star who used to come on.
We don't talk about that. Her man owes me a lot of money, but that's a story for another day. We'll talk about it off camera because there's a lot of things I need to say. But anyway, she went on a date. She's like, I don't even know who this guy is. It turned out to be Wyndham Clark. She went on one date with Wyndham Clark. She's like, hey, I got rid of him. He took me to a golf course. She's like, so he took her to like a golf course on the first date. She goes, nice guy. I go, do you understand this guy just won a major? Like, she's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, she was like, yeah, she's Wyndham Clark. Can you believe that stuff? Me and Gabe were just blown away. I'm like, yeah, okay.
DB,
money bags now.
You got some outrights, DB?
Yeah, I fired on a couple yesterday early when before a bunch of them got moved. I bet on Pavon at 110 or early when he opened up yesterday.
That's a great number.
The guy just continues to just do unbelievable things. He had another great finish at the Seminole Pro Member yesterday.
Hey, well, hold on. Let's pump the brakes on that. Fucking Mac Hughes won.
It's a joke. That is true. But he won the gross, and I'm convinced his partner carried him. He had to have. His partner has to be a freaking. I bet his partner beat him straight up on the whole day. I made 4 bets yesterday. I hit Pavon. I hit Knapp at 90 before he got hammered to 45 or 50. I hit Kitayama at 80, and I hit Will Zalatoris at 35.
Yeah,
hey, I got Zalatoris at 35 too. I got Eric Cole at 55 and Fitzpatrick at 35.
So you're the guy who's betting Eric Cole instead of Wyndham Clark at the same number.
Yes, that would be.
I saw Eric open up at 70 though yesterday. He was.
I shouldn't have clicked there. I get a little. Pat knows me, man. My finger, like it gets hot, and I make the same bet 6 times sometimes. I just can't stop clicking. Like it's a real problem. I got to go shop for a better number.
All right. Well, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. You can follow DB on Twitter at Tour Junkies and at Tour Junkies on Instagram too. Your Instagram following is giant now, dude.
Thanks, man. I don't know. It's don't be fooled. We grew it to that like years ago, and then it's just completely flatlined. Instagram, I can't. It's just flatlined. So I don't know. But thanks. Yeah.
Well, is Instagram like for old people? I'm not even on it. I'm on Twitter still, or X. So
I prefer X. I prefer X, but no, we
I don't prefer anything. I prefer meeting people for beer and wings, but I got to do that. As Pat knows me, I'm a personal touch, meet you at the blackjack table or bar type of guy. That's me.
Love it.
Yeah, Cam's more of an in-person, go to the casino poker guy, not an online poker guy.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I don't play poker, Pat. As you see from the hue of my face, I start sweating when I have good hands. When I try to bluff, like I'd have to wear a balaclava, a mask, some form of disguise. I told you I used to work at a golf club cleaning clubs, and they cleaned me out for a while. I'm like, poker's not my game. I got to learn blackjack, and I did, and it's been very good after that. Poker, I can't lie, it doesn't work for me.
At Cam Stewart Live on X, where he will occasionally be. You can check him out on Sports Grid as well. You should go to Underdog Fantasy right now, download the app, use code Mayo to sign up. You get a deposit match of up to $100. And then once you have your handle at Underdog, hit the description, fill out the 15-second survey, and get in a draw. I'm giving away $5,000. 5 winners, $1,000 apiece. That'll go for the Players Championship. So please go do that now. Help support the show. All right. I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!